To establish a baseline, I don't know that I ever would have described myself as a Christian. Not that I don't have enormous respect for the principles that the Bible teaches, that Christ set himself as an example of. But we stopped going to church after I made my first communion, probably because of an early awareness on my mother's part about some of the inconsistencies in the practice of the larger church organization and the principles in the Bible. She has always had Jesus as the highest example, but never talks about it, just internalized those lessons and did not feel pulled to stay involved in the organized church. And so we stopped going. And I will say that my break with the teachings that were being offered to me were, it became clear to me in the Sunday school classes where they were preparing us to make that first communion. And it was just a church member, somebody's dad, probably, who was teaching the Sunday school class and gave us the chapter and verse of what we were supposed to expect. And I wanted to know about, I want to know what's behind this. So I asked, when we have this communion the first time, when we have the wafer at our first communion, that's the first time that we are being locked into and assured of God's mercy. What about before that? Is it just, does the baptism hold you over until you're able to have the biscuit? And the teacher didn't know what to make of that, and the answer was sort of a hapless, yeah, that's what happens. Not good enough for me. What was I, 9? Was I 11? I don't know. I wanted more consideration. I wanted more confidence that whoever was giving an answer had an answer, had thought about the answer. So that was roughly when I checked out of being fully on board for the ideas, the philosophy underpinning what they were telling us. So to me, it is a surprise to be finding myself with this draw to people who are followers of the Word of Jesus. So I will always be careful about the language that I use to not denigrate whatever anybody believes, and including myself, to be careful to walk around terms that don't start with the presumption that you already believe what I believe because you know, as I know, that that's the only right thing to believe. Let's avoid that in these conversations.